So Christy, how did you get your start in exercise science?
Well, actually, I started my career in athletic training, and so I served in athletic training for about 9 years, and I was actually at Grace for 4 of those years. So then came time, they were looking for someone to take over the exercise science department, and I decided to apply for the job, and they ended up giving it to me. So that's how I got interested in it.
That was a good choice.
Yes.
So how long have you been interested in exercise science?
Oh, I mean, for a while, I love athletics, and then I love the human body. So combining the two is really what I love. And you know, throw in science, and you're studying so much about how the body really works and how it works in different environments. And I mean, we all live in a physical world, but you know, to encounter an injury and then to understand physiologically what's happening to an injury and how you're treating that, and then training young minds about this is how I should think about that physiology and that anatomy. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm interested and passionate about. Yeah.
Great. Now that you're here, what are your favorite aspects of the job?
Well, I do love the student interaction. I love to talk to these students and to discuss with them, okay, what do you want to do with your career? How do you want to go? What do you find interesting? One thing that I also really like is I work with several athletes, so then they get excited about when they start learning anatomy. Now they know the muscles and they know terms. Then we add some exercises and we start challenging them to say, okay, think outside the box. So to really see that aha moment is fun. And then to see the program grow. We've actually grown quite a bit. We started with about 12 a couple years ago, and now we're up to about 45. And I mean, it's really neat to see this just really take on its own passion and its own love, and students are really getting engaged.
That's great. So you work with all the athletes, but do you have a favorite sport?
Ooh, favorite sport? Well, I can't really get away from softball, baseball, just because that's what I played in college, so I'm most familiar with that. But I'd probably say right now, my husband and I have been working on archery and shooting sports. I just love precision and accuracy and there's nothing like hitting a bullseye. You know, there's nothing like hitting a bullseye. So that's kind of where it's more unique. Really, I love all sports. I know a lot about athletics because I've watched so many on the sidelines.
Great. And do you have any particular jokes that you like to use on students?
Well, if you're in one of my courses, usually if obviously anatomy or kinesiology or something related to that, I'll be like, well, that's humorous. Da-da-da, right? Gets you every time.
It actually does get me every time. So considering the students in specific who are getting a degree in exercise science, what sort of career can a graduate expect to get?
Right now, I think you can go anywhere with exercise science. It's really a starter degree. You can go to physical therapy. We can pursue occupational therapy. What if you don't like those? Okay, you can go athletic training, which is the route that I took, and then cardiorespiratory therapy. We can also be looking at personal training, strength and conditioning. There's so many different areas. Some people are excited about nutrition and saying like, okay, how can I go into nutrition? I'm like, well, let's take the courses you need for that. So there's a lot of versatility within this major, and it really meets the needs of the student that wants to know about the body, but also wants to help people and trying to engage. Okay, how do I use my knowledge of the body to help someone get better at living?
That's fantastic. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you. This is Christy Walters at Grace College, exercise science program. I wanted to show you a movement screening tool that I've started using to help identify clients or athletes that are at risk for injuries. Specifically injuries like the IT band, patellar tendonitis, ACL tears, shin splints, stress fractures, the list can go on. So I'm gonna have Allison here do a single leg squat. First I'm gonna have her put her arms all the way above her head, and then I'm gonna have her do this single leg squat. Now, go ahead. Now I'm specifically watching for Allison, actually I'm watching her knee to watch and see if it moves towards the midline of her body, and then I'm also gonna watch for the opposite shoulder to collapse towards that knee. And what I'm What I'm concerned about is if I add speed to that, if I put her in a sport and that's her landing posture or that's how she's going to stop, then she's really at risk for putting herself in a vulnerable position that then may cause one of those injuries that we were talking about. So I have 2 remedies for that. The first one is going to be a band walk. And so I'm going to have Allison put the band around her toes. And what she's going to do is she's going to take some lateral steps, making sure that her toes aren't going inward like she's pigeon-toed. And she's going to walk up and down and do that. Okay, let's do the next one. So the next one is a split squat. And for this, I'm going to have Allison get into a lunge with her knee down. And then her hands on her head. She's going to push through the front heel and stand up. And then she's actually going to lower, going slower than what she came up. So she's going to count like 1, 2, 3, and then she's going to explode up, and then 1, 2, 3. So this is an eccentric exercise. So this is going to help her actually eventually control that single leg squat movement. I challenge you at home to go ahead and try out the single leg squat test. And I guarantee these exercises are harder than what they look.